She texted, "Don't come home. I'm having the locks changed. This is my house now." I wrote, "Okay." Then I had the sheriff escort her out with an eviction notice since my name was the only one on the lease. Her belongings in garbage bags on the sidewalk made the 6 o'clock news. Original post I, 31 male. Got the text at 2:14 p.m. on a Thursday while I was at work. My girlfriend Natalie, 29 of 4 years, decided to drop this bomb via WhatsApp. "Don't come home tonight, or ever. I'm having the locks changed right now. This is my house now. I've put up with your mediocrity long enough. Time for you to find somewhere else to live. Your stuff will be outside." I stared at my phone for maybe 10 seconds, then typed back one word. "Okay." 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then nothing. Here's the thing Natalie didn't seem to remember, or maybe never bothered to check. The rental agreement for our townhouse? Only my name on it. I'd been renting it for 2 years before she moved in. She'd never been added to the lease because she didn't want the responsibility and preferred keeping things flexible. Her words, not mine. I'd been covering the full $2,200 rent every month. She contributed to groceries and utilities when she remembered. But legally, she was just my guest who'd overstayed her welcome. Instead of panicking or arguing, I made 3 phone calls. First, to my landlord Gary, explained the situation. He was amused. "She knows she's not on the lease, right?" he asked. "Apparently not. Want me to meet you there with the property management company's lawyer?" That would be perfect. Second call was to the local sheriff's department. Explained I was the sole leaseholder and my live-in girlfriend was attempting an illegal eviction. They said they'd send someone over. Third call was to my buddy Derek, who had a pickup truck and 0 Thursday afternoon plans. "Need help moving?" he asked after I explained. "Not moving, evicting." "Holy shit. I'll bring Carlos in the cooler." By 3:30 p.m., I was standing outside my own home with quite the crew. Gary brought the property lawyer Janet. 2 sheriff's deputies were there. Derek showed up with Carlos and, true to his word, a cooler of beer for after, obviously. Natalie had indeed changed the locks. Could see the new shiny deadbolt from the street. My stuff, clothes, gaming console, guitar was thrown haphazardly on the lawn. Some of it in garbage bags, some just there. The female deputy knocked. "Sheriff's Department, please open the door." Natalie opened it wearing what I can only describe as her boss bitch outfit. Blazer, heels, full makeup. She dressed up for her big power move. "Officers, perfect timing. This man," she pointed at me, "is trespassing on my property." The deputy looked at Janet, who stepped forward with the lease agreement. "Ma'am, are you Natalie Morrison?" "Yes." "And are you aware that this property is leased solely to," she checked the paper, "Mr. Daniel Reeves?" Natalie's face didn't change. "We've been living here together for 2 years. That makes it mine too. Common law." Janet actually snorted. "That's not how common law marriage works in this state. And even if it was, that wouldn't give you property rights to someone else's lease." "Ma'am," the male deputy chimed in, "we need to see your lease agreement or proof of residency rights." "I don't need papers, I live here. My stuff is inside." "That makes you a month-to-month tenant at best," Janet said. "And Mr. Reeves, as the leaseholder, has given you verbal notice to vacate. Right, Daniel?" "Right," I said. "Natalie, you have 30 days to find a new place." Her face went red, then purple. "You can't do this." "Actually," the female deputy said, "he can. Ma'am, you need to let him into his home and restore access. The locksmith you hired acted on false pretenses." "I'm not letting him in. This is my home." Gary stepped forward. "As the property owner's representative, I'm informing you that you're currently trespassing. Mr. Reeves is our legal tenant, you are not." The realization was starting to hit her. She looked at all of us, then at her phone, probably considering calling someone. Her mom? Her sister? That lawyer friend she always bragged about who turned out to just be a paralegal? "You need to leave the property now, ma'am," the deputy said. "You can arrange with Mr. Reeves to collect your belongings at a later date." "My belongings? Everything in there is mine. I decorated this place. I made it a home. The furniture I bought?" I asked calmly. "The TV I bought? The kitchen appliances I bought? We bought those together." "Have any receipts with your name on them?" Janet asked sweetly. Silence. "Ma'am, step outside, please," the deputy said more firmly. Natalie stepped out, wobbling a bit in her power heels. This is illegal. I'll sue. You'll have 30 days to vacate, I said. But since you've already indicated you don't want to live with me and change the locks, I assume you'll be leaving immediately? She stared at me with pure hatred. You planned this. No, Natalie, you texted me saying this was your house and to never come back. I just reminded everyone whose name is actually on the lease. Derek and Carlos had been quietly picking up my stuff from the lawn, sorting it, checking for damage. Gary called his locksmith to come restore the original locks. Where am I supposed to go? She demanded. Not my problem. You should have thought about that before trying to illegally evict me from my own home. The next 2 hours were intense. Update 1, the locksmith showed up within 45 minutes. While he worked, Natalie stood on the lawn making phone calls. Lots of crying, lots of "can you believe what he's doing to me?" Nobody seemed to be offering immediate shelter though. Once the locks were fixed, the deputies made it clear she could enter with my supervision to get essentials for the night. Clothes, toiletries, medications. That's it. I need my furniture. What furniture? I asked. The bedroom set. The one I bought from Ashley Furniture? Have the receipt on my email. Want to see? She tried claiming the couch, the dining table, the desk. Each time I had receipts. Digital records are beautiful things. The only thing she could definitively prove was hers. The hideous abstract art her sister made in a meditation cushion set. Janet documented everything on her phone. The deputy stood by while she grabbed 2 suitcases worth of clothes and essentials. She tried to take the coffee maker. That's mine, I said. We used it together. I bought it before you moved in. Have the Amazon order from 2019. She slammed it back on the counter so hard I thought it would break. By 6 p.m., she was standing on the sidewalk with her suitcases while a local news van pulled up. Apparently, someone, probably a neighbor, had called in about the dramatic illegal eviction happening on our street. They'd gotten it backward, though. The reporter approached Natalie first, probably because she looked the most distressed. Mascara running, hair no longer perfect, yelling into her phone. "Ma'am, can you tell us what's happening here?" Natalie saw an opportunity. "This man," pointing at me, "is throwing me out of my home. After 4 years together, with no warning, I came home from work and changed the locks for safety because he's been unstable, and now he's having me removed." The reporter's eyes lit up. Drama sells, but Janet stepped forward. "Hi, I'm Janet Wilmington, property management attorney. Would you like to see the lease agreement showing this gentleman as the sole tenant? And the text message where this woman told him not to come home because she was claiming the house?" I pulled out my phone, showing the screenshot. The reporter's expression shifted. "Ma'am, did you send this text?" Natalie grabbed her suitcases. "This is harassment. You're all going to hear from my lawyer." She stormed off down the street, pulling her luggage behind her, one wheel squeaking dramatically. The news crew got some footage but seemed to realize the story wasn't what they'd thought. Derek, Carlos and I had a beer on my porch, while Gary finished up some paperwork. "You know she's not done, right?" Carlos said. "Oh, I know." That night the text started. From her number, her sister's number, her mom's number, random numbers I didn't recognize. "You're heartless. How can you do this to someone you loved? She gave you the best years of her life. You're going to regret this. Real men don't act this petty." I screenshot everything and didn't respond to any of it. Friday morning I woke up to 62 missed calls. She'd been calling all night, alternating between her phone and what I assume were friends' phones. The voicemails ranged from sobbing apologies to violent threats to weird attempts at seduction. "Baby, I'm sorry. I was just frustrated. Let's talk about this. You worthless piece of shit. I hope you die alone. Remember that thing I do that you like? You'll never have that again. Please, Daniel, don't do this. We can work it out. I'm going to destroy your life." Around noon, she showed up with a U-Haul and 4 people. Her sister Elena, her mom Patricia, and 2 guys I didn't recognize. Muscle, probably. I was ready. Derek was there, Carlos was there. And I'd asked the sheriff's department for a civil standby, so Deputy Melissa was back. "She can get her things," I told the deputy, "but I'm documenting everything that leaves." Patricia marched up to me. "How dare you? After everything she's done for you." "Like what, Patricia? Name one thing." "She made you a better person. You were nothing before her." I had the same job, same friends, and same rental house before her. What exactly did she improve? Elena jumped in. She loved you. Doesn't that count for anything? She tried to steal my home yesterday. That's not love, that's entitlement. Natalie wouldn't look at me. She directed her muscle guys to start grabbing furniture. That's mine, I said, pointing to the coffee table they were lifting. Prove it, one of them said. I pulled up the Wayfair receipt on my phone. They put it down. This went on for 3 hours. Every single item we had to verify ownership. The TV? Mine. The soundbar? Mine. The kitchen table? Mine. The area rug she loved so much? Mine. Bought it on clearance at Target before I'd even met her. Her pile of actual belongings was pathetically small. Some books, that ugly art, her meditation stuff, her clothes, a few kitchen gadgets her mom had given her, some plants, though we argued about the pots. I'd bought those too. The best moment was when she tried to take the air fryer. That was a birthday gift to me, she claimed. You gave me a card that said, I owe you 1 air fryer, I reminded her. Then I bought it myself a week later when you forgot. Patricia gasped. That's a lie. I went to my room, dug through my desk, and came back with the actual IOU card. Held it up. Elena had the decency to look embarrassed. By 4 p.m., they'd loaded up the U-Haul with her actual stuff. Maybe $500 worth of possessions from a 4-year relationship. This is theft, Patricia announced. You're stealing from my daughter. Your daughter attempted to steal my entire home, I replied. I'm being more than generous, letting her take anything without a receipt. Natalie finally spoke. You're going to regret this, Daniel. I know things about you, embarrassing things. Like what? That I play Dungeons and Dragons? That I cried during Endgame? That I have a birthmark on my... Okay, Deputy Melissa interrupted. I think we're done here. They drove off with the U-Haul. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Update 2 Saturday morning, I woke up to find my social media blowing up. Natalie had gone nuclear. She'd posted this long, dramatic statement on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter about how her narcissistic ex had made her homeless, how I'd financially abused her for years by making her dependent on me, then threw her out without warning. The creative writing was impressive. According to her version, she'd paid half of everything, literally never happened. I'd isolated her from friends and family. She saw them twice a week. I'd been emotionally abusive and controlling. I hadn't even complained when she went on that girls' trip to Vegas with her ex-boyfriend in the group. She tried to leave safely by changing the locks, and I'd retaliated. Some people bought it. Her echo chamber of friends shared it with angry emojis and "men are trash" comments. But then something beautiful happened. Derek commented, "Weird how you could afford that $2,000 handbag last month if you were so financially abused." My ex-roommate from before Natalie, Tom, chimed in. "Daniel? Controlling? Dude let you redecorate his entire house and never said a word even though you turned his man cave into a yoga studio." Then, the killing blow. Natalie's former best friend Ashley, they'd fallen out over some MLM drama, posted, "Girl, you literally bragged to me about how you were living rent-free and saving up money. I have the texts." Ashley posted the screenshots. Natalie saying things like, "Why would I pay rent when he doesn't ask? And I'm basically getting paid to be his girlfriend." And my personal favorite, "Once I have enough saved, I'm gonna upgrade to someone with a real house, not a rental." The narrative collapsed within hours. Natalie deleted everything, but the internet never forgets. Screenshots were everywhere. Sunday was quiet, too quiet. I should have known she was planning something. Monday morning, I went to get in my car for work. All 4 tires were slashed. Deep, angry gashes. My neighbor's Ring camera caught a figure in a hoodie at 3 a.m. but couldn't make out the face. I filed a police report. Cost me $600 for new tires. Tuesday, my boss called me into his office. Someone had sent an anonymous email to the entire company saying I was a domestic abuser, and they should be aware they employed someone dangerous to women. IT traced it to a VPN. But we all knew who it was. My boss, thankfully, knew me well. "Just wanted to give you a heads up. We're not taking this seriously, but you might want to get a lawyer." Wednesday, the real estate agent called. Oh yeah, Natalie had contacted the property management company pretending to be me, trying to break the lease. When that didn't work, they require in-person signatures. She'd left dozens of fake reviews online about Gary's company, claiming they enabled domestic violence. Gary was pissed. "I'm filing a defamation suit. This is affecting my business." Thursday was the peak crazy. I came home to find the police at my door. "Mr. Reeves, we received a report that you're holding stolen property belonging to Ms. Morrison." "What property?" She provided a list. The officer showed me 3 pages of items, including things like emotional support jewelry and sentimental kitchen equipment. I invited them in. "Officers, I have receipts for everything I own. Would you like to see them?" I'd organized everything into a folder after the U-Haul incident. Every single receipt. They looked through it, looked around the house, and shook their heads. "Sir, has Ms. Morrison been harassing you?" Here's the folder of screenshots, the /tires report, and the fake email to my employer. They took notes. One of them muttered, "This is the 3rd false report she's made this week." Turns out she'd also claimed I'd stolen her car. She didn't have one, and her laptop. She'd sold it 2 months ago. I had the Facebook Marketplace conversation where she bragged about it. Friday night, exactly 1 week after lock change day, Patricia called me. "Daniel, we need to talk." "No, we don't. Natalie is. She's not well. She's been staying with us, and the things she's saying don't make sense. She told us you stole her inheritance, but her grandfather is still alive. She said you've been hacking her bank accounts, but she never had any money saved." What really happened? I gave her the short version. The text, the attempted theft of my home, the harassment since. Long silence. "She needs help," Patricia finally said. "That's not my problem anymore. She's saying she's going to make you pay. Something about your workplace, your reputation. I'm worried she'll do something stupid." Already did. Slashed my tires, emailed my work, filed false police reports. It's all documented. "Oh my God." Patricia sounded genuinely shocked. I didn't raise her to be this way. Maybe you should have asked for her side of the story before showing up with a U-Haul and calling me heartless." She hung up. Final update. It's been a month now since the great lock change fiasco. Here's where everyone ended up. The escalation continued for another week after Patricia's call. Natalie created fake dating profiles with my photos and explicit content. She signed me up for hundreds of spam sites. She called my credit card company pretending to be me. They flagged it as fraud immediately. Security questions exist for a reason. The breaking point came when she showed up at my workplace. Full breakdown in the lobby. Screaming about how I'd ruined her life, stolen her future, destroyed her mental health. Security had to physically remove her. My company filed a restraining order on my behalf. That's when the police finally took action. Between the false reports, the harassment, the vandalism, she finally admitted to the tires when arrested and violating the workplace restraining order. She was looking at actual charges. Patricia and Elena hired her a lawyer. The lawyer took one look at the evidence, the screenshots, the security footage, the paper trail of receipts, the false police reports, and convinced her to take a plea deal. 6 months probation, mandatory therapy, no contact order, and she had to pay restitution for the tires. The last I heard, through the gossip network, she's living with her parents, lost her job because she kept missing work for court dates. Her Instagram influencer dreams died when the screenshots of her rent-free brags went viral in our city. Patricia and Elena apparently made her get mental health help. As for me, the house is peaceful. I turned the yoga studio back into a gaming room. Got a new couch, the old one had too many memories. Adopted a cat named Morpheus, who appreciates my emotional stability and consistent feeding schedule. My reputation at work actually improved. Turns out several coworkers had dealt with similar situations. We formed an informal support group that meets for beers on Fridays. Gary gave me a discount on rent for the next 6 months for handling the situation professionally and protecting the property. He also won his defamation suit against Natalie. She has to pay him $5,000 in damages. Derek and Carlos, they've become closer friends through this whole ordeal. We have a running joke where they check any woman I date against a checklist. Does she know your name is on the lease? Can she provide receipts for her belongings? Has she demonstrated basic understanding of tenant law? The truth is, I'm not angry anymore. Just tired, and maybe a little sad. 4 years is a long time to not really know someone. The entitlement she displayed wasn't new, it was always there. I just ignored it because the relationship was comfortable. The texts asking this is my house should have been a wake-up call 2 years ago when she first started saying it, jokingly. The fact she never wanted to be on the lease, but constantly called it our place, should have been a red flag. The way she'd introduce me as my boyfriend who takes care of everything wasn't cute, it was a warning. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it. And all my receipts are now backed up in 3 locations. The news footage never aired, by the way. Apparently, man legally enters own home doesn't have the same ring as whatever they were hoping for. Last week, I got a text from an unknown number. I miss you. Blocked. Morpheus and I are doing just fine. Edit. Since some people asked, yes, this really happened. No, I don't think all women are like this. Natalie was a specific type of person who happened to be female. Plenty of men pull this same entitled crap. Trust your gut, keep your receipts, and know your rights as a tenant. Edit 2. Stop asking for Natalie's social media. Let her rebuild her life. We both need to move on. Edit 3. Morpheus says hi, and yes, he's named after the Matrix character. He chose violence against my toes at 3 a.m. this morning, so the name fits. She texted, emergency. Need $5,000 wired now for my sister's surgery? I sent it immediately. Next day, I saw her Instagram, bottle service in Miami with her ex. I didn't call, I just filed a police report for wire fraud. 2 weeks later, detectives showed up at her condo. I, 32 male, am writing this because I need to document everything that's happening. It's been 3 weeks since it all went down, and I'm still processing. And I had been dating for almost 2 years. Not perfect, but solid enough that I'd started thinking long-term. She worked in event planning, made decent money, always handled her bills. We didn't live together but spent most nights at either her condo or my place. Tuesday, September 12th, 3:47 p.m. Middle of a work meeting when my phone started buzzing. 3 texts in rapid succession from Val. Val? Babe, I need your help ASAP. Denise is in the hospital, emergency surgery. They need payment up front before they'll do it. Please, I need $5,000 wired right now. I'm at the hospital, I can't even think straight. My gut dropped. Denise was her younger sister, 26, lived about 2 hours away. They were close. I'd met her maybe 5 times. Seemed like a good kid. Worked as a dental hygienist. What happened? Is she okay? Appendix burst. They said, it's really bad. Infection risk. I'm freaking out. Mom's not answering her phone. I'm the only one here, and they won't operate without payment. Please, I'll pay you back as soon as I can access my savings. It's locked in a CD right now. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't life or death. Here's the thing. I had the money, kept a healthy emergency fund, about $15 sitting in savings, and this seemed like exactly the kind of emergency it was for. Your girlfriend's sister might die without immediate surgery? You help. That's what decent people do. Me sending it now. What's the hospital account info? She sent me routing numbers, account details, some reference number, said it was the hospital's direct payment system to expedite emergency cases. Looking back, yeah, red flag. But in the moment, sister dying, girlfriend panicking, no time to overthink it. I excused myself from the meeting, logged into my bank, and wired $5,000. Confirmation came through at 4:02 p.m. Sent, $5K, confirmation number 847392. Is she in surgery now? Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. They just took her back. I'll call you when I know more. Didn't hear from her the rest of the day. Figured she was stressed, waiting for news. Sent a few thinking of you texts. No response. That was unusual but understandable given the circumstances. Wednesday morning, still nothing. Texted around 8 a.m. asking for updates. Crickets. Started getting actually worried now. Called twice, straight to voicemail. Then around lunch, I'm scrolling Instagram while eating a sandwich. My buddy Derek's story pops up. He's reposting something from this club promoter he follows. Video of bottle service, sparklers, whole VIP section set up, music thumping, people dancing. And there she is, clear as day, Valerie. Laughing, dancing, champagne bottle in hand, guy's arm around her waist. I recognize him from photos she'd shown me months ago. Trevor, her ex from college. The one she said she hadn't talked to in over a year. The video's tagged with the location, club in Miami, posted 11 hours ago, which means Tuesday night. while her sister was supposedly in emergency surgery. I watched it 3 times, tried to convince myself it was old footage, mistaken identity, something. But nope. Same outfit she'd posted in her story the day before, that black dress I'd complimented, same hair, same laugh. My hands were shaking. That specific feeling when reality just flips completely. Everything making sense and no sense at the same time. Pulled up her Instagram. Last post was from Tuesday afternoon. Sometimes you just gotta say yes to adventure, with a plane and palm tree emoji. Posted at 1:23 p.m., 2 hours before the emergency. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes. Part of me wanted to call her screaming. Part of me wanted to send screenshots asking what the actual hell. But something stopped me. Instead, I opened a new browser tab and Googled wire fraud police report. Turns out, lying to obtain money via electronic transfer is wire fraud. Federal crime. Mail and wire fraud statute, 18 U.S.C. Part 1343. I didn't know the exact legal details then, just knew that what she did sounded criminal. And I wanted documentation. Drove straight to the police station, asked to file a report. Got passed to a detective, guy named Harrison, maybe late 40s, looked perpetually tired. Explained the situation. Showed him the texts, the wire transfer confirmation, the Instagram video, her location tags. Harrison took notes, didn't seem shocked. Guess people are garbage all the time in his line of work. You're talking about wire fraud, he said. It's tough to prosecute because we'd need to prove intent to defraud at the time she requested the money, that she knowingly lied with intent to deceive you for financial gain. She told me her sister needed emergency surgery. She was in Miami clubbing. Seems pretty clear. I agree it looks bad, real bad. But she could claim the sister thing was real and the trip was last minute after. Or that she genuinely believed the sister needed help based on wrong information, or a dozen other stories. These cases get messy. So you won't investigate? He leaned back. Didn't say that. I'm saying it's complicated. But lying to get $5,000 via wire transfer? Yeah, we can look into it. Especially with this documentation. Give me everything you have. Screenshots, account info she sent, the whole timeline. I'll start a case file. Spent the next hour giving my statement. He photocopied everything, took down Val's info, her address, phone number, social media handles, said he'd be in touch and to avoid contacting her directly while they investigated. Left the station feeling weird. Not satisfied, not vindicated, just hollow. Like I'd been punched in the stomach and was waiting for the pain to register fully. Still hadn't heard from Valerie by Wednesday evening. Posted an Instagram story that night, her and Trevor at some beachfront restaurant. Best spontaneous trip ever. I blocked her on everything. Instagram. Facebook, texts went straight to a filter folder I wouldn't check. If she wanted to reach me, she'd have to work for it. Thursday, my phone rang from an unknown number. Didn't answer. Voicemail notification. Listened to it. Hey babe, it's me. I lost my phone at the club Tuesday night. Just got a new one. Denise is doing so much better. The surgery went great. I've been so exhausted dealing with everything. Call me back when you can. Love you. The audacity. The absolute audacity of this woman. I saved that voicemail, emailed it to myself and to Detective Harrison. Additional evidence of her maintaining the lie. Didn't respond. 2 days later, Saturday, got a text from an unknown number. Unknown, it's Val. Why are you ignoring me? What's going on? This is really immature. I just went through a family emergency and you're playing games? You know what, screw this. If you want to be a jerk, fine. But you could at least ask how my sister is doing. I screenshot everything, sent it to Harrison, didn't reply to her. Update 1. It's been 2 weeks since I filed the report. Things have progressed in ways I didn't expect. Last Monday, Detective Harrison called, said they'd made contact with Valerie, brought her in for questioning. She initially stuck to the sister emergency story. They asked for hospital records, Denise's contact info, any documentation of the surgery. According to Harrison, she became evasive and requested a lawyer. That's usually when people realize they're in actual trouble. He said, we're pursuing this. Wire fraud investigations take time, but you've got solid documentation. Her changing story doesn't help her case. What happens next? We build the case. Interview her sister if she's willing to talk, pull phone records if we can establish probable cause, document her Miami trip, verify she received and spent your money. It's a process. Meanwhile, Valerie's attempts to reach me escalated. My buddy Eric got a message from her on Facebook. "Can you tell your friend to stop being a child and talk to me? I don't understand what I did wrong." Eric, bless him, screenshot it and sent, "Dude, what do I say?" "Nothing, block her." Then her best friend Brittany called me. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. "What is your problem?" Brittany launched in immediately. "Val is crying every day about you ghosting her. Do you know what she's been through? Her sister almost died." "Interesting," I said calmly. "Denise almost died from appendicitis while Val was in Miami posting bottle service videos?" Silence. "Yeah," I continued. "The emergency surgery that required immediate payment was fake. She scammed me out of $5,000 to fund a trip with her ex, so you can tell Val I'm done and she can stop playing victim." That can't be true," she said. "I've got the Instagram evidence. Her flight records show she left Tuesday afternoon before texting me, and the police are investigating wire fraud. Tell her to get a good lawyer." Hung up. Probably shouldn't have said that much, but the entitlement was too much. Her friend calling me the bad guy when Val literally stole from me. Brittany must have told her about the police part because that night I got 7 texts from a new number. Unknown. "You called the police on me?" Unknown. "Over a misunderstanding?" Unknown. "Are you insane? Do you know what this could do to my career?" Unknown. "Event planning is all about reputation and trust. You're trying to ruin my life over $5,000? I was going to pay you back." Unknown. "This is harassment. My lawyer said I can sue you for defamation." "Hope you're happy. You've destroyed everything." I forwarded them all to Harrison. Didn't respond. "But that "I was going to pay you back" line? That's admission she took the money under false pretenses. She just couldn't help herself. Wednesday, I got served. Not criminally. That's all on the police side. But Val filed a civil suit against me for defamation and harassment. According to the papers, I'd maliciously spread false claims about her to mutual friends and authorities, causing severe emotional distress and reputational damage. The specific damages she claimed, $25,000. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud reading it. She stole $5,000 and is now suing ME for $25,000. The entitlement was genuinely impressive. Called a lawyer that afternoon. Guy named Patterson, came recommended. Explained everything, showed him the documentation, the police report, Val's lawsuit. "This is frivolous," Patterson said immediately. "Truth is an absolute defense to defamation. You reported a suspected crime to authorities with evidence. That's not harassment. It's your legal right. She's trying to intimidate you into dropping the police complaint." Can she do that? She can file whatever she wants. Doesn't mean she'll win. In fact, this probably helps the criminal case. Shows a pattern of manipulation and attempting to cover up fraud. I'll file a response. We'll get this dismissed and likely get her to pay your legal fees for wasting the court's time. Felt good hearing that. Patterson said to document every contact attempt from Val or her people. Don't engage, and let him handle the civil case while police handled the criminal investigation. Thursday night, my doorbell rang. My apartment building has a camera system, so I checked the app before answering. Valerie's mom, Claire, standing there looking furious. Didn't open the door. Hit the intercom button. "Can I help you, Claire? You need to come down here and talk to me like a man." "I don't think that's necessary. What do you need?" "What I need is for you to stop this ridiculous police nonsense. Do you have any idea what you're doing to my daughter?" "Your daughter lied about Denise needing emergency surgery to scam me out of money for a Miami trip with her ex. So yeah, I have an idea. That is not what happened. There was a miscommunication. Denise was having health issues." "Claire, the police have evidence she was already in Miami when she texted me. Her flight records, hotel reservation, everything. There was no emergency." "So what? She made a mistake. You're gonna ruin her life over $5,000 that she was planning to pay back?" "If she was planning to pay it back, she wouldn't have lied about why she needed it. Wire fraud is a crime. I reported a crime. The rest is up to the police and prosecutors. We can pay you back right now. I'll write you a check. Just drop the charges." That's not how it works. You can't buy your way out of criminal investigations by reimbursing the victim after you get caught. And I didn't press charges. I filed a report. The state decides if charges get filed. She started crying. Please, she's my baby. This will destroy her future. She made a bad choice, but she doesn't deserve to go to jail. She's 29, Claire. Old enough to know that lying to steal money has consequences. I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but I didn't create this situation. Val did. I ended the intercom. She stayed outside for another 10 minutes, eventually left. Felt bad for her, honestly. But not bad enough to let her daughter get away with fraud. Update 2. 3 weeks since the police report. Last week things got intense. Detective Harrison called Tuesday morning. We've built a strong case, pulled her phone records with a warrant. She called Trevor from the airport Tuesday afternoon before texting you about the emergency. Her bank records show she deposited your wire transfer and immediately paid for her hotel upgrade and club reservations. Her sister confirmed she had no medical emergency and had no idea Val was using her name. So what happens now? The DA's reviewing it for prosecution. Wire fraud is federal, so this could go to the U.S. Attorney's Office. That said, for $5,000, they might not take it. Could end up as state charges, obtaining money under false pretenses, theft by deception. Either way, she's looking at charges within the next few weeks. My stomach did a weird flip. This was real. Like actually happening. Part of me expected it to just fade away, dismissed as a civil matter between exes. But no. They were actually pursuing criminal charges. Thursday, my work phone rang. HR. Never good. Hey, we received an interesting email this morning, my manager Dana said, from a Valerie, last name. Claims you've been harassing her, stalking her online, and making false reports to police to retaliate against her for ending your relationship. My blood went cold. That's completely false. I figured. But protocol says I have to ask. What's the real story? Explained everything. The wire fraud, the police report, her lawsuit, the evidence. Dana listened. Took notes. Okay, so she's trying to get you fired as retaliation for reporting her crime. That's what I thought. Thanks for being straight with me. Document this call, keep copies of everything, and let me know if she contacts the company again. We're not entertaining frivolous complaints from criminals. Hung up feeling shaky. Val was trying to destroy my job now. The entitlement kept finding new levels. Friday, got a text from Denise. Val's actual sister. Hey, I don't know if Val told you, but the police contacted me about her using my name for some fake emergency. I just want you to know I had nothing to do with that. I'm horrified she did that. Me, I appreciate you reaching out. I didn't think you were involved. I'm sorry you got dragged into this. She's been calling me non-stop trying to get me to lie to police and say I was sick that day. I refused. What she did to you is messed up. She did the same thing to her last boyfriend. Fake family emergency. Took money for bail for our cousin. Our cousin was never arrested. It's a pattern. That was new information. Me, did you tell the police about the pattern? Yes. They asked if she'd done anything similar before. I told them about the ex, gave them his name. They're going to contact him. Thank you for being honest. I love my sister, but she needs to face consequences. She's never had to. Mom always bails her out, literally and figuratively. Maybe this time she'll learn. Sent that conversation to Detective Harrison immediately. Established pattern of fraud strengthened the case significantly. Saturday night, things got weird. My building's front desk called up. Sir, there's a Trevor last name here asking to see you. Says it's urgent. Trevor, Val's ex. The Miami trip companion. Why the hell was he here? Tell him I'm not available. Watched on the camera app as the desk person relayed the message. Trevor got agitated, argued with them, eventually left. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed with a message from yet another unknown number. Unknown. This is Trevor. We need to talk about Val. What you're doing to her is beyond wrong. She made a mistake, but you're literally ruining her life. The police, the lawsuit, trying to send her to jail? Over $5,000? Be a man and handle this privately. The audacity of this dude. The guy she cheated with, telling me to be a man. Me, Val committed wire fraud. That's not a mistake, it's a crime. She chose to involve police when she chose to lie and steal. She chose to file a frivolous lawsuit against me. The consequences are hers. Don't contact me again. Unknown, you're a vindictive piece of garbage. She told me what a controlling, abusive boyfriend you were. This proves it, and there it was, the abuse allegations. Saw that coming, eventually. Screenshot sent to Patterson and Harrison. Didn't respond to Trevor. Any response would just feed into whatever narrative they were building. Sunday morning, Brittany posted on her Instagram story, reminder that some people will ruin your life for their ego. Protect your peace from toxic men who can't handle rejection. Clearly about me. Comments were full of people asking what happened, her vague posting about someone she knows going through hell because her ex is vindictive. My friend Eric commented, "Wild how lying to steal $5 makes you the victim, huh?" She deleted the story an hour later, but the damage to Val's narrative was done. People started asking questions. Monday got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, answered, "Is this my name?" Man's voice, professional, "Who's asking?" "This is Assistant U.S. Attorney Rodriguez. I'm calling about a wire fraud case involving Valerie, last name. Detective Harrison forwarded your case to our office. We'd like you to come in and provide a formal statement." My heart started hammering. The federal government is prosecuting this? We're reviewing it. Wire fraud is federal jurisdiction. The amount is lower than we typically pursue. But the deliberate nature of the fraud, the sister's testimony about a pattern, and the defendant's attempts to intimidate you through frivolous lawsuits and workplace harassment make this compelling. We want to send a message about wire fraud. Set up a meeting for Wednesday. When I got off the phone, I just sat there. This escalated beyond anything I imagined when I filed that first report. Final update, it's been 2 months. Time to close this chapter. Valerie was formally charged with wire fraud, federal, and theft by deception, state backup charge. Her arraignment was 6 weeks ago. She pled not guilty, got released on bail that her mom paid. Preliminary hearing is scheduled for next month. Her civil lawsuit against me, Patterson filed a motion to dismiss. Hearing was 3 weeks ago. Judge took about 15 minutes to review the facts. My police report with evidence, Val's admission via text that she took the money, her pattern of fraud Denise testified to, and dismissed with prejudice, meaning she can't refile it. Better? Judge ordered her to pay $8,400 for my legal fees. Patterson submitted our bill. Court agreed it was reasonable given the frivolous nature of her suit. Val's mom tried to appeal to me one last time. Showed up at my apartment again, this time with Brittany. I didn't answer the intercom, but I heard them through the door. "He's not even home," Brittany said. "He's home. He's just a coward who can't face what he's doing to her," Claire responded. Left a note under my door. Long handwritten thing about how Val's lawyer fees are drowning them, how she might go to prison, how I'm choosing vengeance over compassion, how Val is genuinely sorry and made a mistake in a moment of weakness. The note ended. "When you're old and alone because of your unforgiving nature, remember you had a chance to show mercy." I took a photo of it, sent it to Patterson, then threw it away. The entitlement never quits. Sorry, I won't show mercy to someone who deliberately defrauded me, lied about it, tried to gaslight me, attempted to get me fired, and sued me for reporting her crime. Her lawyer apparently approached the U.S. attorney about a plea deal, offered to plead guilty to a lesser charge in exchange for probation and restitution. AUSA Rodriguez rejected it. They want this prosecution as deterrent for wire fraud schemes, even small-scale ones. Trevor, meanwhile, disappeared from Val's social media entirely. Guess he wasn't interested in sticking around once federal charges hit. Denise told me he actually reached out to her apologizing for getting involved in family drama. Real stand-up guy. Val's event planning career is essentially over. Her company found out about the charges through a local news brief. Wire fraud made a short article in the crime section, and she's been quietly let go. Turns out, fraud charges don't look great when your job is managing other people's money for events. I haven't tried to find out more about her situation. Don't care to. Blocked her on everything, blocked her family and friends, moved on. The $5,000? Patterson's working on getting it back through restitution when she's sentenced. But honestly, even if I never see that money again, this outcome is worth it. She didn't just face a slap on the wrist or a learn your lesson speech. She's facing actual federal consequences. Her record will show this. Her career took the hit it deserved, and everyone in her life now knows exactly who she is. As for me, I'm doing okay. Weird mix of validated and exhausted. The process was draining. All the statements, court appearances, documentation. But I'd do it again. because the alternative was letting her get away with it, probably do it to the next guy, and continue believing she's entitled to manipulate people without consequences. Some people told me I went too far, that I should have just demanded the money back and cut her off. But here's the thing, she didn't just take money from me. She weaponized my trust and compassion. She lied about a family medical emergency, the kind of thing that makes you act without thinking, because what kind of monster wouldn't help? Then she gaslighted me, sued me, tried to ruin my job, and painted herself as the victim the entire time. People like that don't learn unless they face real consequences. Not just losing a relationship or having to pay money back. Real, lasting, legal consequences that follow them. Trevor tried to message me last week from a new account. Just said, "You happy now?" I blocked him without responding. But if I had? Yeah, I am happy. Not in a gleeful revenge way, just satisfied. The system worked, justice happened, and I didn't have to compromise my integrity or let someone walk all over me to keep the peace. The preliminary hearing's next month. I'll update if anything significant happens, but honestly, I'm ready to close this book. Val made her choices, face her consequences, and I get to move forward knowing I did the right thing. For anyone dealing with something similar, trust your gut, document everything, and don't let people manipulate you into thinking consequences for their actions make you the bad guy. Sometimes the most satisfying revenge is just letting the justice system do its job. Final thought. A couple people asked if I ever found out what she actually spent the $5 on beyond Miami. According to her bank records that came out in Discovery, the hotel upgrade, bottle service, about $2,000 right there, shopping, and she sent $1,500 to Trevor for his business. She literally gave my money to her ex. The entitlement never stops amazing me. Done with this chapter. Time to live my life without liars in it.